Future Now Show. Brought to you by the Club of Amsterdam.
Hey futurists, it's me, Miss Metaverse, and welcome to the Future Now Show brought to you by the Club of Amsterdam. I have a great guest for you today. Joining me from Santa Cruz, California is Mikey Siegel. He is a consciousness hacker. Hi, Mikey.
Hey, Kate. It's great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for being here too. So tell me about consciousness hacking.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So consciousness hacking is really, it's an open question. It's an exploration, and it's really looking at the relationship between humans and technology. And it's recognizing the fact that for thousands of years, we have had countless different approaches and strategies for really enhancing and shifting and changing and transforming our internal experience, our felt experience, our sense of well-being, our sense of connectedness, feelings of compassion, love, all the things that we all kind of know are what we're striving for internally. And so we've been using traditional means of approaching that for thousands of years, whether that's meditation or yoga or dance or trance or whatever it might be. And in this modern era, we're still trying to adapt those very old tools to kind of fit the square peg into a round hole. And what consciousness hacking is asking is, can we actually use completely new, completely modern, secular science and technology-based approaches to helping facilitate and catalyze the most profound, the most meaningful, the most transformative aspects of human experience. So sort of like engineering enlightenment in a way, you could say.
Right. So what inspired you to do this? I mean, tell me about your company. Who is your company? What are you doing? How did you get into this?
Yeah, so I think like a lot of people that go down some version of whether it's a spiritual path or it's a therapy path or it's whatever kind of path, a sort of a self-help kind of path, me, like many of us, I kind of came from my own suffering, an experience of a sort of an anxiety, a discontent that didn't make sense in my own life because I was incredibly privileged. I had a good job. I had really everything that I thought that I needed. Still struggling. I still felt like things didn't feel right. It didn't feel good. And so I went off on a search, and with a background of an engineer, background of a scientist, I did my graduate work in robotics actually. I kind of explored this whole spiritual path, really not from a religious perspective, but from an engineering perspective, recognizing, crap, there's like really amazing tools out there that really actually work. And so as I began to experience a huge amount of benefit and a huge amount of relief from different types of meditation practices, meditation retreats, yogic practices, those kinds of things. And I'm not here to advocate any one thing, right? It's just, there's a lot of options out there. I realized that there was this totally unnatural divide. And so I became really interested in how I could bring together my interest in engineering and my interest in human transformation, and wanting to do that on a scale bigger than just myself, on a scale bigger than just what I personally could build. And so I created this organization called Consciousness Hacking. And what that really is about trying to spark the culture of people that are beginning to ask these questions and to explore this really surprisingly unexplored terrain. There's been a few sort of esoteric people kind of poking around here for the last 50 or so years, but none of this has entered mainstream at all. And so this is kind of a meta approach, saying let's actually start this cultural wave and get engineers, scientists, researchers, entrepreneurs, venture capitalists, get all these people together into a room and have this conversation and begin to explore this possibility.
That is so cool. I mean, you do see a huge rise. I mean, everyone started doing yoga, there's definitely a kind of spiritual renaissance happening. And I do feel that technology has to be kind of fused with that. And I love that that's what you're doing, that you're bringing together spirituality, engineering, and dreams, just dreaming big and going for it. So what kind of benefits have you found this consciousness hacking to provide?
Yeah. So the main thing, the main benefit this is having is we kind of have this early stages of a global organization beginning. We have about 15 locations around the world which have sort of sprung up very organically, and in each of these locations you have this incredible kind of mixing pot coming together, a melting pot coming together, of people from all disciplines. And the common theme here is that people are interested in new approaches, new tools for human well-being. That's really the common theme. So it's not that they all have a common religion. It's not that they all have a common background. It's not that they're all engineers or all this or all that. It's just new tools for human well-being. And so from these meetings, we've had startups that have spun out. We've had tons of projects that have started, collaborations, people that already have existing projects, finding like-minded collaborators, engineers, funding, you name it. So it's really about starting that culture. But even beyond that, there's this recognition that technology right now is not the limiting factor in accomplishing this and in seeing this happen, seeing this unfold. The limiting factor is really human ingenuity. It's human imagination. It's just the recognition that, wait a minute, in what ways do we want technology to serve us, right? Recognizing that there is this latent human potential for well-being that's untapped, and it's something that anyone that has meditated for a little while realizes that, oh my God, my mind has been running the show for so long. When I actually quiet it, there's this whole world of possibility, a world of experience that opens up. And so it's kind of asking this question of like, don't we want the technology in our lives to actually facilitate that level of experience instead of just sort of providing us with information and doing all the things that it does and is really good at? And so that's what consciousness hacking has done, is it has started people asking that question and exploring that possibility.
Okay, so this is the question that I've been waiting for, and
okay,
I want your insight on what you think the future will be like in consciousness hacking. Like, where are we going? What will consciousness hacking be like in 2030 or 2050 or 2100?
So I think crazy things are on the horizon. I'm an optimist futurist, and I think it's even sooner than that. And here's why. Once people sort of wake up to this possibility, the technological capabilities, like I was saying, are largely already there. And technology has a few very interesting capabilities that religion and spirituality and sort of language-based approaches to this don't really have. One is that technology is culturally boundless, right? I remember when I was in India and I was hanging out with these sadhus, these sort of religious holy men that literally they have no possessions. They literally walk around naked. They don't even have any clothes, right? That level of no possession. The dudes had cell phones. They literally would like answer their cell phone and be talking to people. So technology is that culturally ubiquitous, right? Another aspect of technology is that it can be distributed in mass on very large scales in a very short amount of time. And so it's actually totally feasible to imagine that as we begin to develop technologies that can have profound impact on human well-being, well, these technologies, I think, would actually be some of the most desirable technologies on the planet. Because what every single human being is looking for at some level is to feel better. It's like a fundamental human yearning. Now, they're not looking for religion. They're not looking for alcohol. They're not looking for this. Those are all means to an end. And the end is always just to feel more connected, to feel more at peace, to feel more at home in this present moment experience. That's what we're all looking for. And so when technology can actually deliver that reliably, or help support it, help catalyze it reliably, that not only would that be the most demanded technology on the planet, but we would be able to distribute it in mass in a short time frame across culture, across religion, across belief system. And that could produce a profound transformation in human culture and human consciousness on this planet in a short amount of time. And you can sort of ask this open question: how does the world change when all of a sudden you have a majority of the people on the planet coming from a place of connection, love, gratitude, empathy, rather than a place of fear, anger, hatred, a sense of separateness?
Wow. That sounds amazing. Well, all right. Well, I'm definitely a supporter. I'm in. Let me know where I can hack my consciousness and tune in. Totally down. All right. Where can we connect with you? How can we find you on the internets? How can we find you on social media? You tell me.
Cool. So Twitter, it's conscious hack. And then our website, which keep an eye out, we have an awesome new website in the works. It's cohack, COHACK.life, cohack.life.
Very cool. All right. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you for coming here today and sharing this with us. And we look forward to learning more about consciousness hacking. And let's be connected. Let's all use technology to be one with all. And let's just build a better future.
Cheers to that. Thanks, Kate.
Thanks. Bye.